Good evening, everyone. We will now begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for blessings and protection received while participating in the construction of paradise on earth. Please stand for the Amatsu-Norito, the prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Taka amahara ni kamuzumarimasu kamurogi kamuro mino mikoto mochite sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto tsukushi no himuka no tachihana no odo no ahagi hara ni Misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru. Harai dono o kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegari o. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio. Amatsu-kami kunitsu-kami yaoyorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuchi koma no mimi furitatete kikoshi mese to kashikomi mo maosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Kamnagara tamachi haimase. Kamnagara tamachi haimase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great. Please be seated for group Johrei. May God be Meishu-sama, bless you. Teaching this evening is entitled Turning to God from Daily Inspirations, page 82. I have no torch, nor power, nor a staff to lean upon. How then can I walk this path of life? I must rely on God. I have been illuminated by the divine light of God. I once wandered the road of doubt, but I am now blessed with deep understanding. All the blessings I have experienced are so very great, there are no words to fully express my gratitude to God. To have perfect trust in God is the advice I always give to our members. One cannot overemphasize the importance of placing our faith in God implicitly and refraining from worry. This may sound simple and easy to put into practice, but it is not as easy as it appears. I too used to be concerned when I found myself in a dilemma. In spite of my best effort to place my trust in God, feelings of uneasiness or misgiving sometimes came into my mind. In our materialistic world, it is almost impossible to be completely free from anxiety. However, there is a great difference for those who have faith in God. When they are faced with problems or difficulties, they become aware of the spiritual meanings underlying these events far more easily than others do. And this makes it much easier for them to endure adversities. God wishes to help people and send them blessings, but worry may spiritually hinder God's helping, protective hand. The more unrestricted the worry, the more it obstructs divine help. This is why things do not go as people wish. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association evening service. This evening, I want to share the faith experience from Miguel Pinto. He's from Maputo, Mozambique. Miguel is a Johrei member and he gives service at the Central Johrei Center. The faith experience that he would like to share with us is related to the dedication of distributing flowers. He's a mechanic by profession and had no difficulties in getting clients, having a stable financial life. But at the beginning of this year, he went through a financial struggle and difficulties in his job. In this situation, it reflected in his dedication. He remembered the dedication he used to do, distributing flowers in the place called Costa do Sol, and the changes that took place in his life. He made the decision to do the same in his neighborhood called Chiango, distributing 1,000 flowers of light picked from his own home garden. He started this dedication in March, where he prepared the mini bananas, distributed them in front of his house, and took them to his neighbors. His neighbors went every day to his house to ask for more flowers, especially the children. He asked them why they came every day to ask for flowers, and they replied that since they started keeping the flowers in their homes, they started to sleep well, and some of them had nightmares that stopped. One of them said that in her house there was an infestation of rodents, that some died and others disappeared, thanks to God and Meishu-sama. After listening to these experiences, he asked them to bring flower materials for them to make the flower arrangements. Miguel did it together with them, and they joined him into the houses to be visited and distribute the flowers. In each house visited, he tried to channel Johrei and had copies of our prayers with him. His neighbors went to him to talk about their problems and received Johrei at his home. One of the neighbors was going through marital conflicts. After an argument, the husband left their house. She called her husband, but to no avail. Thus, she came to ask for help. After hearing her concern, Miguel channeled Johrei to her, asked her not to call her husband anymore, and to hand everything over to God, so that she would have the answer later. That same day, the husband returned the call and they reconciled. Miguel suggested for her to visit the Johrei Center to express gratitude for the blessing she received. Thanks to God and Meishu-sama, Miguel overcame his financial difficulties and he strives to materialize his gratitude donation for every job he does. Right now, he has already distributed more than 900 flowers, and he's assisting four families. Miguel understood the importance of handing our lives over to God and trying to be useful in the divine work. His commitment is to intensively put into practice our three pillars of salvation and to dedicate in helping others. He's very grateful to the Supreme God, Meishu-sama, and his ancestors for the permission to serve in the divine work. It was from Miguel from Maputo, Mozambique. And another faith experience I want to share with you this evening is from Laura Gabriela Duarte Maltes. She's from the Praça Seca Johrei Center in Jacarepaguá, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Laura is 8 years old, and most of her family members are Johrei members. She grew up receiving Johrei, and since the age of 2, she has been part of our young children training program, which in Brazil is called Criançate. When she was younger, she made a toy money as an offering of gratitude. She gathered all the toy bills she had and put them in the offering box to thank God for everything He gives us. Today, she knows that little money had no real value, but she thinks her feelings reached God and Meishu-sama. Before, when she had the child locket, the shoko, she felt like a fish out of water because everyone channeled Johrei, but she was not allowed to give Johrei yet due to her age. Then she received the sacred focal point or hikari, which was a moment of great happiness because she was going to be able to channel Johrei to her family members. In January of this year, 2021, scabs appeared on her face. Her mother took her to the doctor, who said it was a skin infection. She had so many scabs that the doctor said she would probably have permanent marks and recommended that, if there were such a case, she had reconstructive plastic surgery. Laura received intensive Johrei from her family, ate nature farming products, and listened to Meishu-sama's teachings. In less than a week, the scabs dried up. It was a real miracle. Today, her skin looks great, and she didn't need any plastic surgery. She gives service, making and distributing mini flower arrangements during Johrei gatherings in the church. This dedication gives her great joy. Laura is very happy to be a Johrei member, together with her family, and to serve in building a world full of happiness. Thank you very much for listening to these very inspiring faith experiences. I wish you a blessed evening. With this concludes our evening service. Thank you very much.